Recently, Hailey Beiber has been spotted on multiple occasions without her wedding ring, and a lot of people are talking. There is a lot of chatter saying that their relationship might be on the rocks again, and it's not looking good because she's usually not without her ring, but lately she's been going to a lot of places without her wedding ring. And normally that's what people would think if a celeb always wears the ring and they suddenly stop wearing it. So naturally, I would see why they would think that. But I wonder if it has more to do with just where she is mentally. It probably has something to do with their finances and how the dynamics of their relationship have switched ever since Justin lost a lot of his money and Hailey has come into a lot of money by her own efforts. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel. Today I want to talk about Hailey Beiber and how the dynamics of her relationship with Justin Bieber has changed ever since she sold Rhode to Elf for about $1 billion. So here's the summary of how the transaction went. She sold Rhode to Elf Beauty. Elf Beauty has a lot of companies, including Elf Cosmetics. I think that's what they're mostly known for. But they have a lot of companies, and they purchased Rhode. They so far are going to be giving her, because the transaction is not completed yet, but they will be giving her $800 million. Not all cash though. Some of the $800 million will be in cash, and some of it will be in stocks. So that's $800 million, and then she may be getting $200 million, depending on how well the brand performs within, I believe, the next 3 years. The latter part of that transaction, the $200 million part, does not surprise me because if you guys remember, there's been one or two celebs that have sold their company at a high valuation, and when the transaction was completed, the purchasing party realized that things are actually not the way that it was claimed in the books, and that can cause them to lose a lot of money, and it can cause things to get messy because when a transaction is completed, then you have to go back and begin to renegotiate. That can get messy, right? So I think that may have something to do with why they decided to do the actual sale for $800 million, and then they may give her $200 million if everything checks out within 3 years and the company continues to grow. Because it's very tricky with the way these companies are set up, where if you're the one purchasing a company, there's a lot that you might miss when you check out the company and look at their books and see how they say that the company has been performing. But then you come in, you purchase the company, and things turn out to not be exactly the way you thought it was. So who knows? Maybe that is why they're trying to be cautious and say, whoa, hold on, we're going to give you $800 million. However, we will see if this company continues to grow and see if anything pops up that we're not seeing currently. And that is when they will give her the other $200 million. So I think it is safer to say that she sold Rhode Beauty for $800 million, because that she for sure will be getting when the transaction is completed. The other 200 is dependent on the performance of the company in the next 3 years. Remember that a lot of people were surprised that she was able to grow her company that fast within such a short period of time, There is a reason why people are that surprised. It's because companies normally do not grow that fast and sustain at that rate. There's been a lot of drama surrounding her name, and who's to say that all of the drama did not boost her company, and once the drama dies down, the company will no longer grow at the same rate. So there's a reason to be cautious. The people that are surprised that her company grew that fast within such a short period of time have good reason to be surprised. So as we all saw, Hailey Bieber chased Justin Bieber around for quite a while. Justin Bieber has not exactly been a gentleman to her, as we've all seen. However, he is dealing with a lot, from his music to his other companies, and just he's dealing with a lot. So I don't know, I guess you can say that that has something to do with it, because how well can a person treat someone else if they themselves are in a bad place mentally? So I guess you could say that his own issues are the reason. But anyway, she has been putting up with a lot, because the average person would have left by now, and she stuck around. At the time when they first started the relationship, Justin Bieber was the wealthier one. When they first started, he was the star, and she was just sort of the daughter of a celebrity, and she did not have quite the name that she has now. So the way that she behaved in the relationship reflected that. But now, after Justin Bieber spent a lot, or should I say lost a lot of his money, he did lose a lot of money a couple of years ago. He was on the verge of losing everything, but he lost a lot of money, and he was not as financially buoyant as he previously was when he started to date Hailey. The behavior of people when they're in a good financial situation is very different from when they're not, even towards their own significant other. Especially men. When men are in a relationship with someone with less money or resources than they do, they're not as careful with the way that they behave. They're more, they pay closer attention to the things that they do. They're not necessarily nicer, or meaner. They're just, when they have more money than their significant other, they're just not as careful with the way that they act, because they're confident, they have the resources, they have nothing to worry about, and they feel as though that person will not leave. However, now that Hailey Bieber is sort of the one rescuing them, because the sale of Rhode came at a very good time, because right now Justin Bieber is not in a good place financially. We saw how he left his tour earlier than was planned. That cost him a lot of money. He's having problems with some people that he used to do business with previously, that he believes they cost him a lot of money. So he's losing money from many different areas, not to mention the amount of money that they spend, because they spend a lot of money. He owns a lot of real estate. All of that costs money to purchase and maintain. And then the day-to-day life, they spend a lot of money there as well. So because he's lost money in all of these areas, Hailey's selling of Rhode came at a very good time, because this will help rescue them financially. So now it seems that the relationship dynamics between Justin and Hailey have switched to now Hailey is the one who's more financially buoyant, and Justin is the one with less money. Recently, we saw a few clips of her not wearing her wedding ring, and people are speculating that they may be having problems because she's usually with her ring, and now she's going places, a lot of places, without her ring. And I think that it may not necessarily be the case that they're having problems. I just think that Hailey Bieber is in a different place mentally because she's in a different place financially in comparison to Justin. The fact that she's able to grow her company to the point where it is successful enough to be purchased at that amount is enough to boost anyone's confidence. And also, the fact that she will be coming into that amount of money is also another thing that will make her feel more confident in who she is, to where she moves differently in the relationship now. So I'm not surprised that she's wearing her ring a lot less if she doesn't feel like wearing it. Now she's comfortable not wearing it. I also think that if Justin were to disrespect her, for instance, she will no longer be the groveling wife that will chase him around everywhere, wearing her wedding ring, flashing it around to let everybody know that she is married to him. She no longer needs to do that. That is no longer the height of her life. Her business is an important part of her life. Honestly, I'm surprised that she kept focus on her business the entire time she was with Justin, because the way that she is portrayed in the blogs, a lot of people believe that getting together with Justin is the biggest thing that she ever accomplished, and it was her entire life. That was her main focus. But a lot of people, and we've seen this many times, where a lot of girls, when they begin to date a celebrity or when they get married to a celebrity, they don't usually do much with their life. They just sort of become the wife or the mother, and that's about as far as they go. And they just sort of exist in the relationship as that person's significant other. But Hailey Bieber did not do that. She stayed focused on her business. She grew it. She posts a lot. I've seen some celebs that have other things going, but they also have their own brand, their own business, and they do not promote it as much as I see Hailey promoting her business. So it's like she never lost sight of her business, which makes me think that perhaps she's not as lost in her relationship with Justin as she's being portrayed to be. As we all know, that a lot of men, when they're in a relationship and their wives become the higher earner, they do not take that well. It sometimes brings the worst out of them. I'm not sure why, but a lot of men that tend to be abusive become even more so. And I'm not saying that Justin is abusive. I don't know them that well, but I'm just saying he's not exactly been man of the year, okay, with his wife. So now we'll see which way he goes. We'll see if he is more respectful towards her now that she's not just his wife. She is the wife that's rescuing them financially. Or we'll see if he will become so insecure because his wife now has more money than he does, and that might bring out the worst in him. He is working on himself, so I feel like it will be the former, not the latter. And yeah, I don't think that her not wearing her wedding ring as much anymore necessarily has anything to do with them about to break up. She just does not seem to me, honestly, like the sort of person that will up and leave a relationship that easily, for the simple fact that she's already put up with a lot. That is more than would cause a lot of people to leave. But you can also argue that previously she was not in the position that she currently is, where she has a name for herself now. She's made a whole name. She has her own company. She's selling it, but she can also always build something else. Like, that level of confidence puts you in a different mindset, you know? So we'll see how it goes with them. That's all I have on this. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next one. Bye, guys.